Hi, welcome to Center Stage Guitar Academy YouTube channel. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And if you don't mind, watch some of the ads, help us make a little bit so we can keep providing these lessons to you for nothing. This lesson we're going to be studying the style of Joe Bonamassa. If you don't know who Joe Bonamassa is, I would recommend checking him out. He's a blues guitar, blues rock guitar virtuoso. The guy's incredible. He actually started very early on at like 9. He was already pretty incredible. But I've gotten a lot of requests to learn more about his style, and while I cannot play up to his speed, because he's very technical and he's very, he's technically pretty fast. Along the lines of like an Eric Johnson, if you're familiar with him. But we can study some of the tendencies in order to try to mimic his style, and it's something that's going to take a lot of practice, so we might as well get into it now. You practice it for a while and build up the speed, and then eventually you'll have that style down. So one of the things I've noticed about him, and most people notice, is these flurries of runs that he does, and they're all in pretty much based out of the pentatonic minor, the 5 pentatonic minor boxes that we've learned. So if you haven't learned those, you need to go back and study those. But there's 5 shapes of the pentatonic minor scale, and they all connect, and he uses those a lot. So that's kind of his foundation. So you need to study that up. But in this lesson specifically, we're going to study this idea of these flurries, and he does these descending runs down the scale in these 5-note patterns, and this is very much similar to Eric Johnson. In fact, I think I've even heard him in interviews say that he pretty much ripped off Eric Johnson, which is fine. We all rip each other off. It's just what we do. But so they're 5-note patterns. So if you look at the tab here, this is called, see, the tab is pentatonic descending runs. It's going to be, we're in C pentatonic minor, so 8th fret, your regular C pentatonic minor shape, right there. And you're going to start on the root here, and you're going to go 5 notes down, and then you're going to start on the next note and go 5 notes down all the way down. So it's like this. We have that little thing to finish it on an even downbeat. So when he does that very fast, it sounds pretty impressive. So it's going to take a while to work up the speed. I've been working on this for just a few days, and I've already gotten a little better. This is, speed is not my forte, but something I'd like to get better at. It's in the picking. You have to use your alternating picking, or in some economy picking. If you try to do this all downstrokes, you're never going to get there for speed. So let's run through it. You start on the 8th fret. You're going to go 8, 11 on the B, 8 on the B, 10 on the G, 10 on the G, 8 on the G. So I would just start with that. That's the first 5 notes. C. Practice just that for a while. Get that down. As fast as you can. So you're going down, up, down, up, down. Now, when you get that down, you go to the next note is going to be here. Our starting point is now here on the 11th fret of the B string. So we go. We're going to go right there, and then 5 notes down from there. And that takes us to the 10th fret of the D string, which is our root note. The important thing too is when you're practicing, try not to pause in between these 5-note phrases. Okay, so I'm alternating my picking except for when I go here, I'm doing a downstroke because I've just done, I just hit a downstroke here, but I'm already going down, so I just go down again. If it feels better for you to go up, that's fine. So, you know, practice those two together for a while. Then, we're going to go, there is our next note, because we did this note. We had a starting point on this note. Now our starting point is here, and you go 5 down from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we put those together. And I'm kind of laying my palm on the lower strings so they don't ring out, kind of muting them. You know, if you're having that problem, just kind of slide your palm up a little bit. And I wouldn't try to pick too hard, because it's going to slow you down. So we're to there. Then you go to the next. Now our next starting point is going to be on the 10th fret of the G string. And you go 5 down from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you just keep going down from there. So we got, now our starting point is the 8th fret. So we got, and then we go from here, the 10th fret of the D string. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so and then we go from here. That takes us to the root note again. I like to practice each of these 5-note sequences separately too, to just because it's all really just about the muscle memory. So, you know, you can practice different segments of it together to work on the transition from one to the other. So far, then we have one last one, starting on the 10th fret of the A string, and we end it that way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we end on the root note just so we end it equally on a downbeat. So, we're borrowing a note here on the 6th fret from one of the other pentatonic minor scale patterns, which would be that one. Okay, so then you just, you know, it's good too to practice without a lot of gain, so it's cleaner. And then, you know, you can crank it up a little bit. And there you have it. So start slow and just kind of build up the speed as you get comfortable with it. Like I said, I've been working on this lick and I was really slow because it's just when you do these different patterns that you're not used to, your fingers just aren't used to moving that way. You know, I mean, we all have our licks that we can play fast. You know, and those are things I've been playing for 10, 20 years, right? So when you're learning something new, it takes some time. So just, you know, it just takes practice. So, but you can get this down. It's just how much time you know you can put in. So that's the method behind the madness of Joe Bonamassa. And we're going to take a look in some other lessons at some more specific licks in his style as well.